studio, the sports media palace of Mid-America, the Wolf of Center Street. Here's your host, John Nabors.
And welcome into the John Nabors Show here live from North Little Rock at Dickey Stevens Ballpark as we are getting set up for a great event that's going to be happening here in just a few hours. It is the Hat Club Crawfish Salute, which is going to be benefiting UAMS right here in the Central Arkansas area. It's actually kind of nice to be back in the 501. Feels like a little taste of what I was experiencing over the past 4 years. And it's great to be here and great to be hanging out. The weather's perfect. It's a little windy on the windier side, but still, it's going to be fun to hang out and talk more about all the things that are going on in the sports world, and we'll give you more details and more information on what's going to be happening over here as well. But since we have a loaded show for you, we're going to try to get through it all. As I know, the John Calipari craziness is still going strong for all the best of reasons, too. But we'll get to some of that and be able to talk to you in your chats and also your phone calls. So if you want in on the conversation, it's always a simple thing to do. You could just call in at 936-246-2889 if you want to get your voice heard, and you can also get a part of the chat, too, as, again, we're going to do our best to hang out and talk more about it. But, you know, it's a fun time right now for Razorback fans for all intents and purposes. And a lot of it has to do with some of the right stuff, the right things that you want to be talking about and hanging out with and discussing. And especially now that we've finally had a chance to go through the process of what has happened with John Calipari and being hired. We know we did a show yesterday and looking at a lot of the craziness that happened from it in our initial reactions to all the things that he had to say, whether it was the right things or the wrong things, whatever it is. But still, there were so many things to take from it that you almost couldn't do it in just one single show. You had to have 2 shows to be able to discuss it and everything. But I'll say this, you know, I have gotten a kick still today out of all the reactions that most people have had about the hiring of John Calipari from pretty much each and every avenue, whether it's from the national media, it could be from ESPN, it could be from CBS Sports, it could be, again, from anywhere possible. But just to see how it's still a tough thing for people to wrap their minds around. And people who don't know how to take it just kind of lean in towards the absurdity of it all or how ridiculous it is to them, which can be really disappointing depending on who you're talking to and how you're looking at it. But overall, I feel like there has been some people that are starting to come around on it, some people who are fighting for the reasons of Arkansas and knowing just how good of a basketball program that they are, but also dealing with just these people who have really never understood what Arkansas is about and settling in, and people are starting to see the residuals of it. You know, I saw that Barstool Sports, one of my good friends, which I've always had him on this show and even on my old show and have known him for a long time, Bobby Regan of Barstool Sports, for instance. He wrote an article or posted on Barstool Sports yesterday talking about Calipari and said, oh, well, you know, it's the same stuff I've heard a billion times before. It's nothing unique. It's nothing new. It's just the same regurgitated crap that he's had and he's always said. And Razorback fans kind of took offense to that. And if you know Bobby Regan, you know he's a Kentucky guy, and he's a friend of mine. I understand what he's doing, but I also understand how he feels. But you got to admit, if you're a Razorback fan right now, folks, not only are you feeling so great about all the things that are happening with Calipari and with the chaos that is coming from it, but also knowing that, for instance, a place like Kentucky right now, which you were told and almost mocked in the way of why would you even talk about going to Arkansas? Why would you even make a jump to Arkansas? Why would he leave Kentucky for Arkansas? Well, if you're looking at it right now, folks, Kentucky is kind of struggling with some of their coaches that they've been looking at. They've been told no by Scott Drew. That's official. He ain't going. They've been told no by Coach Hurley over at UConn. That's official. He's not going. And I continue to see some of the things that they are going after, some of the coaches that they're going after. And I've seen Billy Donovan, which I know I've been making fun of for a while, but I've seen that. I saw Kyle Tucker bring up the possibility of Rick Pitino. And you got to admit, Razorback fans, you got to admit, that's a pretty satisfying feeling. Actually, I'll change it. It's a very satisfying feeling to know that you have a coach in Cal, which is going to bring excitement and is going to bring promotion, if anything. You know, the wins will have to come along with it. The recruiting's going to get to it, which we'll talk about here in just a second. But you have everything that you need to be able to build it into a program and into a product that everyone's going to be paying attention to that normally wouldn't before. That's something that other programs do not have. Immediately, Arkansas and Cal and the marriage that's taken place has essentially become the most interesting team in the SEC. And I'm not kidding about that, folks. Right now, where it stands, you are a much more interesting team and basketball program than Kentucky. You are a much more interesting team and program than Alabama or Auburn or A&M or whoever. You are so much more interesting and intriguing to everybody that they're going to be paying attention to you and to all different landscapes. And because of that, it's going to bring nothing but positivity. It's going to have players that are going to be very interested in you. I know that a lot of you have been following Pod at the Palace with Curtis and Scotty, and you've been following them and some of the portal madness that they've been posting on nattystatesports.com and being able to look at some of the landscape that's going to be providing. But think about this, folks. You're going to see exactly the impact of Cal being here, and you're going to see it in a quick, fast, and in a hurry situation where suddenly it's going to open up all the doors for you to get some big-time players. We know that's going to be the case. Like, we know that you're going to have some of these freshmen coming in from this high school class that has been so highly rated and highly touted. You're going to have them being interested in you when normally they wouldn't have been. We know that the portal is going – like, we already got guys that are major targets that are being targeted by Calipari and by Arkansas that, who knows, maybe they would have been contacted, but the interest is there beyond belief. Like, your roster is going to be elite. Your roster is going to be incredible, and that's a fact. I don't know how many games you're going to win next year. I don't know what you're going to do in the NCAA tournament when you get there. We'll cross that bridge when it happens. But right now, where it stands, you are the program in the SEC, the premier program in the SEC. I saw that some people are saying in the chat, and I also saw that too, that On3, I guess, is saying that Mark Pope from BYU is Kentucky's next target. Now, listen, Mark Pope is a fine coach. Mark Pope has done some good things. And I am not insulting him or any stretch, and he could end up going to Kentucky and being big time. I'm not going to say otherwise. But you're telling me that you go from John Calipari to Mark Pope? You can't tell me that's an upgrade. You can't tell me that Kentucky fans are going to be excited about that. So keep that in consideration, where now all these coaches that have maybe talked about Kentucky or been interested in Kentucky, I thought that would be a job that people out of the woodwork would go to. I thought that was where it was just going to be, hey, no. We're going to get all of these coaches here. And we'll be able to have our pick. And who knows? If no one's been hired, maybe, just maybe, they pull a rabbit out of the hat. Because let's be honest, it's what Hunter Yurachek and John Tyson and everybody did at Arkansas. They pulled a rabbit out of the hat. So maybe they do that. Maybe it's premature. But I'm just saying that you are the program in the SEC. And I think Kentucky will be fine. They'll be fine. But they're not going to be as interesting. They're not going to be as big time. So you have such a fascinating thing in front of you and how it's all going to play out. But from just what I've heard, and, of course, again, if you follow Pod at the Palace, I know Curtis has been discussing it and Scotty's been discussing it. You have a situation now where by the end of this week, by Friday, something like that, you'll be able to see exactly what this program is going to be capable of when it comes to all the players. Because they're going to have 5 stars committed, multiple 5 stars committed by the end of Sunday. Mark my words. They're going to have that. They're going to have portal guys committing big-time gets before Sunday. Mark my words. I wouldn't even be shocked if they have a starting 5 all together by the end of Sunday. Now, of course, I don't know if those guys will actually be the 5 starters, but I'm saying they'll have 5 players. They'll be able to put out a team out there instead of just having Lawson Blake. But that is the type of excitement that this Calipari hire has invited and has brought in. It's that level of greatness that's been able to do it. So if you're a Hog fan right now, be pumped. I know that we talked about it yesterday, and when again, I think it was this caller that actually called in, which, by the way, again, if you want to get on the conversation, it's a pretty simple thing to do, 936-246-2889 to get your voice heard. But you're talking about an excitement that deserves you spiking the ball right now. If you have Kentucky fans coming at you, and we've had some Kentucky fans in our chat over the past few days, talk some trash to them. Talk some trash to everybody in college basketball. Yeah, you had a bad year this last year. Yeah, you don't even have a roster officially. Like, you don't have anything going for you right now as far as on the court and having players and everything. But what you do have is you have the coach. You pulled off something that nobody expected and nobody else would have been capable of. And that is exactly why John Tyson got the greatest ovation I've ever seen in Bud Walton history, besides maybe when Nolan Richardson made his first return back to Bud Walton Arena. I mean, I've never seen anything like that. The amount of superstars, the amount of big names that were incredibly, incredibly huge from all of that. You were able to get ovations for some bigger than others, but the biggest one came to the guy who writes the checks, the chicken man that everyone's talking about. Because of that man, you have been able to change the game, change the landscape of everything. And if you're a Razorback fan, how do you not spike the ball? How do you not celebrate in incredible fashion right now? Like, talk your noise. I would say something else, but talk your noise. Go out on social media. Be proud. Make fun of everybody else. You deserve that because you know what? You had to deal with a lot of crap this past year. You were preseason ranked top 10. Everyone thought that you were – some people picked Arkansas to win the national championship. And I'm talking about people who have a really great background and expertise in the college basketball landscape. People picked Arkansas to win it, and it didn't happen. So everybody was excited to see the fall, right? Everybody was excited to see how the mighty have fallen and how horrible it was and make fun of you. And you had to see Alabama in the Final Four, which was a joke. But now you have something that everybody else wants, attention. You have the attention of college basketball. You have the attention of the sports landscape. And now, because of that fact, you are going to be able to grow into a monster that nobody else will be able to touch. And I'm pumped for it, as you can tell. I'm pumped for it. I think it's going to be great, and I think it's something that you can feel confident in. We'll see what it plays out for as far as the staff goes. I know that Cal's not going to waste time on that. I know that he's going to have a staff that's going to be put together, and not only that, but the roster. They're going to be getting after it a lot. So, I mean, this was about as good as it could get for Arkansas, and it's just such a great situation. We'll get into your phone calls, folks, here in just a second, as well as some of your messages, because I know some of you are already chiming in. But before we do that, once again, folks, I want to tell you about one of our newest and greatest sponsors here at Natty State Sports. That is the Lewis Automotive Group here in Fayetteville. They have a brand new location. I remember as a kid driving down college, always seeing Lewis Ford over there. Well, they have a new location in Fayetteville, as is 2479 North Shiloh Drive there in Fayetteville. Now, they have one of the greatest dealerships that you'll be able to see, with some new vehicle guarantees that they're willing to throw out there, like the 5-day exchange program. You get double the factory warranty. You get a 10-year, 120,000-mile powertrain warranty, and that goes for all of their locations, not only just in Fayetteville, but in Springdale and in Farmington as well. And here's another great deal, too. It's going to be a beautiful weekend out there, but it did rain. It poured out. You're probably needing something done with your current vehicle. You need a car wash, right? Well, head over to Lewis Automotive Group right there in Fayetteville, and if you say that the boys from Natty State Sports sent you, they'll get you a free car wash, a high-end car wash they'll get you taken care of. That's all you got to do. You got to go over there and just got to say, hey, car wash, the Natty State boys sent me over here, and they'll get you taken care of. So we are very happy to have them a part of Natty State Sports. We're very excited to have the Lewis Automotive Group be a part of our show each and every day here on the John Nabors Show. So you got to check them out, again, with their brand-new location over there off Shiloh Drive, and say that Natty State Sports sent you, and I'll get you a free car wash only with Lewis Automotive Group. All right, real quick, before we get to the phone calls, I had this chat coming in. This comes from Mike. He says, hey, John, how many said that was the biggest Arkansas head coach intro last night, but was thinking, was that the biggest hire ever anywhere? I think it might be. You know, I thought about this, and I don't know what's going to be the comparison or what you'll be able to look at and see from that. However, I think I'm hard-pressed to think that there was a bigger deal than what we saw last night in a coaching search. I mean, there was 8,000 people there probably roughly in Bud Walton. Probably would have been a lot more if it wasn't for the weather. And the electricity and the energy has been nothing that we've seen before in the Arkansas coaching realm. I mean, the Petrino hire was great, but that's the only one that I think he's even come close to comparing. And even then, you couldn't say. Maybe when Nick Saban got hired by Alabama, that was a very big deal. But still, I just don't think that this is it's unprecedented. I said that on Channel 5 last night. It's unprecedented to think exactly what Arkansas has going for them. So, yeah, I think it's hard. You'd be hard-pressed to find something like that. All right, let's go ahead and go to the phone lines. And let's talk to, I believe this is Tim from Lexington, Kentucky. What's going on, Tim?
Yeah, I called in the other day. Congrats on your picking up Calipari. That's a good pickup for Arkansas.
Yeah.
But, you talk about talking trash to Kentucky fans. Let me tell you this. Go win 7 more championships, then you can talk trash. You guys made a great hire. That's good. But, Kentucky fans aren't offended. Kentucky fans are not, we're not taking a back seat to anybody. We are the premier program. We always will be, and that's not going to change. So we as UK fans kind of take that as a, slight on us because we've won championships. We are the winningest program ever, and we're going to stay at that level, and we will get a good coach.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this, Tim. I'm not disagreeing with you, and I'm not saying that Arkansas is the premier program over Kentucky. Don't get it twisted. Kentucky, as a program, is a much better basketball program than Arkansas and is one of the best, if not the best program in all of college basketball. I'm not denying that fact. I'm just talking about right here, right now, in the moment. Arkansas is the most interesting and the most intriguing college basketball program in the SEC. And who knows, if you guys get a coach that ends up being really great and he ends up getting some championships or whatever, yeah, I'll give a lot of credit, and I think everybody will understand that. But I'm just talking about right here, right now, in this moment. You are the most interesting and most intriguing program if you're Arkansas.
And that's no disrespect to you guys, but, here's the thing. Calipari wore out his welcome after 15 years. A change had to be made, and I'm glad that he's moving on, and I wish him well. But we as Kentucky, we're moving on too. And, we wish you guys the best of luck, and we'll see you at Rupp next year. Well,
hey, can I ask you this real quick before you go, Tim? I know that Hurley said no, and I know that Struis said no. So for you, who do you want? I think Billy Donovan's kind of the name. Is that who you would like, or who would be the coach that you'd want to bring on?
I think Billy Donovan will be the next coach here. I'm connected with some people here locally, and that's who they want, who they're pursuing, and it seems to be. But there's also some other names that have come up, but. I think Kentucky fans are willing to wait a week for Billy. And, that version of Billy Ball, we would welcome that, and I think it's going to happen.
Well, I guess we'll see, Tim. Again, it's coaching searches haven't happened very often there in Kentucky basketball. So I know that it's a place that has a lot of tradition and a lot of success, but I guess we'll wait and see. But, hey, listen, Razorback fans are going to celebrate the moment right now. And I guess, Arkansas, Kentucky is going to be a lot more interesting next year.
It will be fun. And just in regards to Drew and Hurley, Hurley just won 2 championships, and he's not going anywhere, which, at least we reached out to him. But Scott Drew, I respect him because it was more about his family than it was coming here. And, if he made the decision what was best for his family, you can't fault anyone for that. And so hats off to him for, turning down an opportunity of a lifetime, for his family. So I respect him for that. And, like I said, Kentucky will get a coach. It will be a great coach. And, it's going to be fun to watch the rivalry with Arkansas. But, we got a lot of rivalries, Tennessee, Louisville. Auburn too, Florida. So it's going to be fun.
Oh yeah, it's going to be great, man. It's going to be great. Well, hey, I appreciate your phone call. Agree to disagree. We can have some fun with that, but but we appreciate you being a good sport about it, man.
Likewise. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it, Tim. Again, I know that I'm not saying Tim misunderstood. I was just being honest about the interest and intrigue right now. But this is a time to be excited, man. And if you're a Razorback fan, and I'm sorry, I just don't think Billy Donovan's going to be it. if I'm wrong, if they hire Billy Donovan and I'm wrong, then so be it. I will gladly eat crow. I will gladly say, hey, all right, I was wrong by that. It ended up working out. But I just don't understand. I just don't know how you can feel so confident about a coach who has not coached a single college basketball game in the NIL transfer portal era. I just don't know how you can feel good about that. You know, and he hasn't even done well in the NBA. So I don't know. I just don't think, if I was a Kentucky fan, Billy Donovan would not be it. It would not do it for me. Honestly, I'd rather go with the coach from BYU before Billy Donovan. Maybe I'm the crazy one. But, I mean, if you're a Razorback fan, I mean, how excited would you have been about BYU's coach if you would have hired him instead? For crying out loud, people were wanting to tar and feather me when I even suggested that Chris Jans was going to be the guy. So, anyways, yeah, I just don't think that ends up being the case. Yeah, I saw the Aaron Torres tweet somebody was asking about in the chat. Let me pull that back up again, because I thought that was pretty fascinating of what he was putting out there. Yeah, so Carter Knox, who is a McDonald's All-American, one of the highest-ranked players in the high school class, 5-star. He was committed to Kentucky. Well, on his Instagram, he now has the term chicken man and a chicken emoji in his Instagram bio. This is a day after John Tyson lured John Calipari away from Arkansas, according to Aaron Torres. Now, what does that mean? What does that mean? Well, I think it means something. It's got to mean something. Chicken man with the chicken emoji. Listen, everybody's going to be all about the chicken man. I'm all about the chicken man. Give me all the chicken man you can. I am all for that. So, yeah, I just don't see. I don't see where people come in and say, well, it's going to be this guy and it's going to be fine. We're going to get a good coach. Maybe. But to all you Kentucky fans that are watching, coming from somebody as a Razorback fan, we know what it's like to have a bad coaching hire. And I know you do too. Billy Clyde Gillespie was not a good hire. Now, at the time, it seemed like it was. At least I thought it was, because I wanted Billy Clyde Gillespie at Arkansas. And from what I understood, he was going to Arkansas if it wasn't for the Kentucky job opening up. So I guess you did save that one. But he was at Texas A&M. I believe he went undefeated in the Big 12, 16-0. Had AC Law, really good player. So that was maybe the one-off. But you think about Kentucky, I mean, they've had, 4 coaches in the past 30-plus years? 40 years? And you talk about Pitino, talking about Tubby Smith, Billy Clyde for like a year and a half, it seemed like. And then you add Cal. So they're kind of new to this whole thing, but every coach that they hired was always a big name, especially in that stretch. Like Billy Clyde, say what you want about him, he's a big name. Cal, of course, was a huge name, the biggest of names. But when you're talking about now, and you're getting turned down, like Hurley, I'm not going to, like Tim brought up, I'm not going to blame Kentucky for Hurley, because why would you leave if you're Hurley anywhere? You won 2 national championships and wasn't even close. Why would you? So that makes sense. But if you're talking about Scott Drew, you can't get him from Baylor. It has to do with his family, okay. But how are you not going just all in on Nate Oates? I don't like Nate Oates. I don't. And I know he already said, I understand. Well, if you got that money, you can make him talk. You can make him sing. You can make him change his mind. So why not do that? Or why not go after Bruce Pearl? Throw all the money at him. Chris Beard, I know he just with Ole Miss. No, well, if you're Kentucky, and if you're as big of a program as you say you are, which I believe you are, I'm agreeing with you. But I'm just saying, from the confidence level of Kentucky fans, if you're as big of a program as you say you are and how you feel you are, then a Chris Beard extension thing shouldn't even matter. Why aren't you going after Chris Beard? Why aren't you going after any of these other coaches that have proven themselves already in the current landscape of college basketball? Why aren't you doing that? That to me is what needs to make the most sense. That to me is what needs to happen. So, I don't know. But I'm going to be curious. I'll just say the next 2 seasons. Let's say next year, but the next 2 seasons. this day 2 seasons from now, or this day 2 years from now. So what are we talking about? April 11th, 2026. I'm wondering what we're going to be saying about Arkansas and what we're going to be saying about Kentucky. What are we going to be saying about those two programs? Are we going to be approaching them as equals? Are we going to be approaching them as on the same level, same playing field, back and forths? Or is one going to be light years ahead from the other? And I'm going to be honest, and you can call this bias, and that's fine. But if I'm a betting man, which I am, I'm willing to put money that 2 years from now, Arkansas will be in a better position in their college basketball program than Kentucky. Not saying they'll be better as far as a program overall and in general. But the next 2 seasons, I will put money down that Arkansas will have more success on the basketball court than Kentucky. So, mark that down, mark the tape, whatever it is you want to do. But that's just how I feel. I can't wait to be right, totally. Can't wait to be right, which I'm sure nobody's going to hold against me even if I'm wrong. But it's still, just something to talk about and something to think about too. So, but yeah, it's been so much fun. It's been so much fun so far, and I can't wait for it to continue to be a lot of fun here. Again, folks, we're here in the North Little Rock area, Central Arkansas area, on a beautiful day at Dickey Stevens Ballpark, home of the Travelers, as we're getting you revved up and ready for the 13th annual Hat Club Crawfish Salute here, which is an awesome time benefiting UAMS, and it's going to be electric here just for a few. I say a few hours. It's actually going to be a long time. So from 5:30 to 9 o'clock tonight. So we'll give you some more details. We're going to have my buddy, Mr. Will Ogles, on here after a while. I think he's the chair of this whole thing. He's the owner and operator. At least that's how he acts. So we'll have him on here in just a little bit, folks. But I got to tell you about our friends over at Alumni Hall here I say here in Fayetteville. We're not in Fayetteville, but here in the state of Arkansas, because we know that with all the baseball things going on, you're excited, right? For baseball, I mean, they are the number 1 team in the country. Not too bad. They've won 23 straight home games. Not too shabby. So you're excited about that. Now, you got just a couple weeks for the next home series, but maybe you're really pumped up and excited about John Calipari being in Arkansas, and you want to have some of the latest and some of the greatest apparel known to man ever possible. So you can be able to check it out there at Alumni Hall, nattystatesports.com/Alumni Hall. You check out that website, you'll be able to see all the different apparel that they have to offer, whether it's for the men, for the women, for the kids. Hey, I mean, if you want your kid to dress like John Calipari, they'll be able to make it happen for you over there. So check them out. Again, nattystatesports.com/Alumni Hall. It is the ultimate Razorback shopping destination known to man. Again, check it out today at nattystatesports.com/Alumni Hall. Again, taking your phone calls, folks. If you want in on the conversation, 936-246-2889 is that number to call or text in. I saw somebody saying, like, oh, we're going to just talk about Kentucky the whole time. You know what? Maybe. If you have Kentucky fans calling in, I appreciate it, though. And I like Tim. I'm not going after Tim in Lexington. I mean, he's a Kentucky fan. And who knows? He may be right. But I'm just saying that there is a level of people that are not all Kentucky fans, because it's not all Arkansas fans, but there are a lot of Kentucky fans that kind of laughed at the fact that Cal was going to a place like Arkansas. They may have been excited about it, but they were also, like, okay, well, you can have him. He's not any good. You can have him. Okay. Well, fine. I think Arkansas fans will take it. They'll take it right now. Let's see. A few people chiming in. Ross says, John, appreciate all you do. What % would you put on Cal reaching out to Devo, Battle, or Mark? Well, I'm going to be honest. I don't think he reaches out to Devo. I don't think Devo's a guy that they are going after. I don't think Devo's a guy that they even open up to. I would think Battle would be the best bet as far as former Hogs that are in the transfer portal now. I would say that he would be the best bet as to one that gets reached out to, but I don't even know if he gets reached out to. And Mark, I don't know if he's a Cal type of player. I may be wrong. I may be totally wrong, but I think that Cal's got he's got the number 2 recruiting class that he had at Kentucky, and all these guys are starting to decommit. And if those guys start to commit to Arkansas, and you see other guys that are in the portal that are a lot more high quality, I mean, again, I'm looking at it from this perspective, and because I'm giving the entire benefit of the doubt to John Calipari. If he wants Devo, if he wants Battle, if he wants Mark, absolutely. Have at it. I'm all for it. If that's what Cal wants. But if Cal wants completely new roster, nobody from last year's team on this roster, completely and totally new, does not even reach out to Battle or Mark or Devo or Blocker for that matter, because I know that's getting asked about. If he doesn't even reach out to them, that's fine too. I'm in the position to where I'm like, Cal, you do you. Get whoever you want. Don't get who you don't want. This is your team, your roster, your squad. Do it however you see fit, and I'm going to be 100% supportive of it because he's earned that benefit. He's earned that. I mean, we got the NIL going, hook, line, and sinker. I mean, we got more money than most college basketball programs, which is another thing too, folks, real quick, about the NIL. This whole deal about Tyson and Arkansas and the money that's being put in, it's not just Tyson that's putting into this, by the way. Arkansas, from people I've talked to nationally and just getting a vibe of what NIL, because let's be honest, nobody really knows exactly how many of these programs spin in NIL, but just the people I've talked to, they are saying that Arkansas's NIL and what's being reported, if it's not the best in college basketball, it's top 2 in the amount of NIL they've committed to the basketball program. You think about that. I think it was Curtis, actually, on my show yesterday that said that he had talked to somebody with Kansas, one of the greatest college basketball programs in the country. They know they got a bunch of NIL, but they went all in on their NIL for like 3 or 4 players, and that was it. And we know one was Hunter Dickinson. I think he got in the realm of $2 million or whatever it was. But that just kind of shows you how much Arkansas is committing to this. And if you're all about NIL, which some players are, why would you not want to be at Arkansas? You got Cal. You got a great, great basketball program, facilities, support, everything. And you have NIL. What is missing? Like, seriously, this is my question. Why, if you're a big-time player, if you're the best of players, high school player, transfer portal, whoever, why would you say no to Arkansas? I'm honestly asking, what about Arkansas would make you think, yeah, you know, but this is over here better? The only thing I can think of is like, okay, championships, because if you got a chance to go to UConn, who's won back-to-back, I get that. And Cal has not coached a single game for Arkansas, so I get that point. But that, to me, is the only thing that you could say no to. But you also can't rule it out because Cal hasn't coached a game yet. I think the funniest thing would be, though, and obviously I hope this happens for all the reasons, but the funniest thing to me would be if imagine if Arkansas won a national championship in year 1 under Cal. Like, what that would do. What that would do to Kentucky fans. What that do to the college basketball landscape. What that do to all the people who are hating on Arkansas and making fun of, why would you want to leave there? Man, I would just crack up laughing, and it would be the greatest thing ever. The greatest thing ever. There's got to lay a lot of, it's a hard thing to do, but I'm just laughing about it is all. Just laughing about it. Let's see. Let's go back to the phone lines as we got, let's see, I'm calling in here. I think it's Dylan on the line. What's going on, Dylan?
What's up?
What's going on, man?
Yeah, I was just wondering about Carter Knox.
Yeah.
And, like, how do you think that he's going to be at Arkansas? Do you think he's going to be at Arkansas?
I mean, I'm just going – I mean, who knows in this day and age as far as guarantees go, Dylan, but from what I've heard and from what I've seen and what I know that Curtis and Scotty have been on top of it and what they've been saying, and nothing's confirmed, nothing's ever set in stone, but I would be leaning towards, yes, him committing to Arkansas. I'm being for real about it. I think that he's committed to Kentucky because of Cal. When Cal left, he decommitted, so that kind of puts 2 and 2 together. And he knows that Arkansas has major NIL aspirations. So, again, I would just be shocked. Here's my thing: Carter's either going to go like G League, like pro that thing, or he's going to go to Arkansas. I just don't see him go to a different college, and I could be mistaken. But yeah, I think if I was good to bet on it, I think he ends up being a Razorback.
Because, I mean, if you look at his Instagram bio, it says Chicken Man in the Instagram bio.
Exactly. I mean, what else could that possibly mean if you're the Chicken Man? Listen.
But, yeah, I just saw somewhere that said that very likely that he'd be there, so I was just wanting to know what you thought about it.
Yeah, no, I think it's very apparent that all those kids that have been committed to Kentucky and that have decommitted, again, never going to guarantee anything, but I think you'd be hard-pressed to not at least feel really, really good about them coming to Arkansas, because so far they've already lost 3 commitments from that class, and it was all because of Cal leaving. So even if you get 2 of them, Dylan, like, think about how incredible that is. Get 2 of the 3 5-stars. Like, how awesome that'd be. Get Quaintance and Knox. Like, you're set. You're in great shape.
And, I mean, if we get Quaintance, that's 2 years at least because he has to stay because he's so young.
Yeah. I mean, it's that's the type of situation you want to find yourself in if you're Arkansas. It's just like, get somebody like that, get somebody in that can excite. Because here's another thing, too, and basketball might be the biggest example of this. Great basketball players want to play with other great basketball players. So if you get 1 5-star commitment, guess what? Another 5-star commitment may come along. More and more players may be coming along. That's what people want to have. That's who people want to see. They want to see more of the goods. They see more of the great players. They want to play with those guys. So it could be a legit domino effect overall.
For sure.
All right. Well, appreciate the phone call, Dylan. Thanks for listening in and chiming in. I mean, yeah, that's the ultimate effect. You know, you think about Arkansas and some of the great players that they've had coming through. I mean, to me, it was a no-brainer for that. Like, when you got Jordan Walsh and Nick Smith and Anthony Black, I mean, was it just because of, all the 3 of those players just individually happened to want to go to Arkansas? Or was it because, hey, you're playing with Nick Smith, I love that kid. Or, hey, you're playing with Anthony Black, I love that kid. Like, it's a culmination of it. It's usually a combo deal. Very seldom do you just have 1 5-star and then a bunch of 2 or 3 stars. Usually when you have a 5-star, a lot more comes along with it. A lot more excitement comes along with it. And so that, to me, is what is the easiest thing you could do if you're Arkansas, is just recruit, keep recruiting, keep putting it into perspective, keep making it happen, and then, boom, you'll get the right people in place. You'll be able to make it happen. We'll tell you more about everything that we have going on here at Dickey Stevens Ballpark here in just a second. But, folks, as always, I want to give a shout-out to one of our great sponsors, which we have quite a few of them. But I'm telling you, the Signature Bank is just – they're great. They're fantastic. They have been so good to us when it comes to all things with our banking here at Natty State Sports. Anytime that you want to go and talk about something important like your money, like your livelihood, like things that are going to support you but also support your family, like finances, you want to be able to do it with a bank and in a bank that means a lot to you personally and that's going to take care of you. Because not only are they a bank that has all the amenities that you could have for all your finances, but they are very much community invested. They started right in Fayetteville. So they're all about being here in the Natty State, and they want to be able to help out other local people here in the state, not just Northwest Arkansas, but across the state. So if you're looking for a place to do your banking, a place that can make you feel safe, sound, and secure when it comes to your money, do it with Signature Bank. They have locations across the state of Arkansas, but you can also find out more information if you go to their website at www.signature.bank. That's signature.bank. They'll be able to get you taken care of each and every day, checking out all the great things that they have going for them. Again, check it out with Signature Bank with their locations all across the great state of Arkansas at Signature Bank. Again, if you want to get in on the phone lines, you can call in at 936-246-2889, as that'll be the number to call in on. As it's funny, we've had a lot of Kentucky fans in the chat and hanging out, which again I appreciate. I like having people going crazy in there too, and being able to talk a lot of trash. It's just awesome. I just love it too. So there was some chats here though that I was looking at. Yeah, I'm not going to read that one. Some of them I can't read. But, okay, I'll read this from a Kentucky fan. I'll do it. Some from BB and Baller. Says, honest question, though, how would y'all feel if all the players he had committed to UK choose a different school than Arkansas or Kentucky? I mean, what if? I mean, it just depends on what the rest of the roster looks like. I mean, if he just gets a bunch of transfers in that are really high quality, I think people will be fine. So I don't think that's going to make everybody freak out. It may be a little disappointed because they're like, okay, so what is it about Arkansas that you did want to come to when they had it all going for them? But no, I don't think anybody would give a hoot as far as who comes in. It's more just about what the roster looks like when it's all finalized. I think that's the key. That's the biggest deal there too. Also, people are talking about how the Kentucky fans are really upset and sad. I mean, they are, and I not all of them. Some of them are really confident. Some of them are confident thinking that this is going to be just fine once it's all said and done. Maybe so. But there's nothing to really justify that or to be able to look at that too. So, also, we'll talk with our guy here for the 13th annual Hat Club Crawfish Salute. So, in fact, if you want to come on, we got to get you on, man. Let's come over here. So, I don't know if anybody knows this, but I have one of my good friends that is here as part of the Hat Club ordeal. So, we're going to get him on here and talk a little bit more about it, dude. So, have you ever used one of these mics before? I don't know if you have or not, but this is big time. So, yeah, well, here you go.
It's a little top heavy.
Yeah, well, you got to do this, and then you got to do this, and then you got it going on. So, what's up, buddy?
Oh, man, what a day. So we started about 10 a.m. this morning getting this beautiful venue set up, and we've got all the tables and the chairs and the beers and the crawfish and the food. So, it's been fun.
Dude, I got to do this last year when I was with 103.7 The Buzz, and it was awesome. And I still tell people, I'm like, dude, it was the best crawfish I've ever had.
Yeah.
Like, that's no joke. But this year compared to last year, what's some of the things that you've done differently or maybe some things you've adjusted in the event?
So last year, I was the co-chair, so I got to, be, involved with all the decisions, but didn't make any of the decisions. And this year, I was the chair and I was in charge. And a couple of things we're going to do differently. We're going to have a DJ instead of a band. We're going to try to have get the beers out to the people faster, whether that's through servers or just have more bartenders. So that's kind of the name of the game. So
dude. So we'll talk more about it. Calipari being hired as the coach. That's the only thing anyone wants to talk about now.
I know it. Dude. It's been awesome. Whether I'm in the elevator, I'm at the grocery store, I'm here. I mean, it's all every time somebody walks in, that's what everybody's talking about.
So what'd you think about it?
Oh, I mean, it's just a slam dunk hire from, everybody had €100 check on the hot seat. I did. I mean, I was dog cussing him. I woke up, Sunday morning thinking that we were going to hire Chris Jans or Darryl Walker, who, no disrespect to those people, but they're not, on the same level as Calipari. And so I woke up, Sunday morning thinking that I was going to have, Chris Jans or Darryl Walker as our coach. I went to bed Sunday night thinking like, oh my God, it's actually going to be Calipari. I mean, only in Arkansas, right?
Only in Arkansas. Could it be that way, dude? It was wild because it's been such a crazy deal, and I still didn't want to believe until I actually saw him in person.
Yeah.
And everything. But I want to bring it up because I know that you're an attorney. You're a man of the law. And I thought it was really funny with Tom Mars coming at Kentucky Sports Radio because they was like, oh, this report's like, actually, because I didn't even know Tom Mars was the legal representation.
I mean, but does that shock anybody?
No,
I mean, he's just everywhere, and he does everything. I mean, he's like the super lawyer. Like
he's like a Jimmy Sexton agent, like with law. Like he's just like he's everybody's representation. So I thought that was like one of the funniest things from it all is because there's always reports like, we tried to make a counter offer and wanted to stay, and he's like, no, actually, we had no report of that.
Yeah, he came and shut that down. Yeah, great Twitter follow too, Tom Mars.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. So, but the weather's great out here, man. I know it's a little windy in certain places, but here inside the Dickey Stevens Park concourse, I mean, you couldn't ask for really anything.
I tell you what, I mean, this morning it was a little rainy. I don't know if you woke up in the great city of Little Rock this morning or not. If you drove down. Okay, so I don't know how the weather was when you drive down, but in Little Rock this morning, it was a little drizzly, it was a little foggy, it was a little cold, and I got a little nervous. And then about 11 or 12, the wind just pushed all the bad weather away. I mean, there's not a cloud in the sky right now. The sun's out, beers are cold, crawfish is hot.
That's what matters.
Going to raise money for a good cause.
Yeah. So tell us about people who maybe be in the Central Arkansas area, just in general. If they want to be a part of this not only great event, but the great club, and be able to have something for a great cause like that. How do people get involved into this?
Yeah, so probably the easiest way is just go to hatclublr.com, and that will give you more information about our organization. The easiest way I describe it is it's junior league for dudes. And
yeah.
We drink probably a little bit more than the junior league does, and probably have a little bit more fun. But we also raise a bunch of money for local charities here in Central Arkansas. And actually, we've raised, this event will push us over the $750,000 mark for in 10 years for raising money for charities here.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So is it the same charity every year, or you guys kind of mix it up, or how's that go?
So for this event, the past, at least that to my knowledge, it's been the UAMS NICU.
Mm-hmm.
So the chair, I guess, has the discretion to change the charities every year, but the UAMS NICU people did not even give me a chance to look anywhere else. As soon as I became the chair, they were taking me out and saying how much they needed our money to do the things that they want to do. And I had the opportunity to go tour the UAMS NICU unit, and I don't have kids. You don't have kids that you know about.
Yeah.
And so I got to see these little babies, and I mean, they were literal infants that would sit inside of your hand. I mean, 1 or 2 pounds, and the work that they do over there, I mean, it really was just life-changing for me to go do that, and it solidified my choice that this is just a great cause and where we need to spend our money and send our money tonight that we raise.
Yeah, so again, a great cause and everything, and also a great shirt, by the way.
Thank you.
Was somebody else wearing that same
Yeah,
shirt?
so the co-chair this year.
Okay,
So,
co-chair. So I say I wish I had a sweet Crawfish shirt like that, man. I missed out on
I'm a little
it,
disappointed in your outfit choice. I'm not going to lie.
Don't worry. Well, I have another outfit in the truck.
Okay,
so don't worry, don't
gotcha.
worry,
So this is working, and then
then it's going to get crazy.
Yes.
Later.
Perfect.
Yeah, we'll see if that happens.
I wouldn't expect anything less, but
Nah, I like to be subtle sometimes, man.
Yeah.
So you know that, but yeah. So it was crazy too, because again, going back to the Razorback standpoint. Is there a way that this Crawfish gets sold by Tyson? Because I feel like Tyson is the number one.
Absolutely.
He is the fan favorite right now.
No question about it.
So I think that I don't think I've ever seen a man get an ovation that had nothing to do with the athletic department other than just the money he gave.
No doubt about it. And I'll tell you another thing I found out when you can go to the Tyson website, and they have an apparel shop. So my new basketball apparel for next year is going to be Tyson-related gear.
That's great. That's phenomenal. Yeah. I love that man and what he is.
Air chicken, man.
Air chicken. And now it's just like, hey, all right, let's get the other athletic programs going. Arkansas baseball is #1 in the country, so feeling good about that. But
and the baseball team will be here next week.
That's right. Is it next week?
I think. So when is it, the 23rd?
I'd say, it's 23rd. So 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Oh, okay, well, a week from Tuesday.
Okay.
So, I'd say because we're coming down there for that Tour Day Central Arkansas for Natty State Sports. We're going to be at a lot of different places there. In fact, we just got to finalize that we're going to be at Rock and Roll Sushi on Monday. So
awesome.
Really looking forward to that at one of their fine locations. But, hey, man, we appreciate you having us out here and hanging out. And it's going to be a great time.
Here.
Yeah, it's going to be great, man. And like I said, I couldn't ask for better weather, so it's going to be a good time.
All right.
All right, buddy.
See you.
See
you in a little bit.
Shakes. Yeah, there we go. All right, that's our guy, William J. Ogles, hanging out with us, talking more about the great things happening here at the Hat Club Crawfish Salute. And appreciate him for having us out here and being a part of it each and every time. So, I feel like the chat was always going to talk about my boy Ogles and all of that. But anyway, so everyone's talking about the Chicken Man and the Carter Knox situation. Yes. He is the Chicken Man, and he has been talking about him being the Chicken Man and how the Chicken Man's doing this, Chicken Man's doing that. Okay, well, that's great and all, but I just need him to commit. That's what I need. He can do all about the Chicken Man all day long, but until you actually commit, that's what I want to see. That's what I want to have happen. So until that happens, I don't want to get too excited about anything. I don't want to overlook anything or think that anything else is a big deal. We just need to wait on that. So either way. Yeah, if you want to end on the conversation, folks, 936-246-2889 is that number to call in. And if we want to ask about a text line, we'll probably get that going here after a while, too. So we look forward to having that. And Somebody asked a question earlier about the in-state recruiting, which is something that actually was addressed by John Calipari last night in his press conference. But there's always going to be a few people that always feel better about the in-state kids than maybe what they do for others. And, it is what it is. Like, you can look at it in different perspectives. You can look at it in different ways. You can be ultra positive about one thing and negative about the other. I just want the best players in. If they're from the state of Arkansas, yeah, that's an awesome story and it's an awesome thing, and it'd be really cool to have that. But I think that people are just going to – I just think it's just going to be whoever's the best. If it's in state, that's great. And if it's not, that's fine too. Just take it as that. Take it as that. Let's see. Michael says, I am craving rumors on players. John, give us something that's not out there. Okay, well, I don't know how you would throw that out there. It's not like I'm in the know of the recruiting element, but I do believe that there are players that are either in the transfer portal or from the high school landscape that were for sure not considering Arkansas then, but they are now. They are all in on Arkansas. That's why I'm telling you, folks, by the end of Sunday night, I'll go ahead and put on this. You will have no less than 3 new players committed that are high caliber. You could have as many as 5 by the end of Sunday night. I think it's going to move that quickly for some of these players. Now, some of them may be obvious. Like you could say if it's Carter Knox, throw him into the mix. You could say someone like that. You could say the Quaintance kid, who's 6'10", 225, not too shabby, as he's the number 8 player in the country. But it also could be some transfer portal guys, too. There's been a lot of them that have been jumping in there and into the mix, and guys from Stetson, like the Jalen Blackman. I know that he's been somebody that's been looked at right now for the Kentucky side of things, too. I know that you're going to have big men. That's one thing that Cal has always been putting a focus on, is getting big men out of whether it's the portal or out of high school. So this could end up being one of the things where you have some of the biggest, not saying the talent-wise, but do you guys remember when it was like the Stan Heath years, and it felt like you never really had – you had some guards, but none of them were like elite and great other than Patrick Beverly. Like you had Stephen Hill, Darian Towns, Charles Thomas, Benson Hunter. And you had like Sonny Weems, who's more of a small forward. Like those are all your greatest players, and you just seemed like you had so much size, but then you were lacking a little bit in the guard position. I think you could see it to where you got so much size, not to say you're lacking the guard position, but where there'll be a nice little balance about what goes on with not only on the recruiting for big men, but also for the recruiting on the other side of it too. So let's see. This one doesn't have a name here, but that's okay. We'll just go ahead and welcome him in anyway. Go to the phone lines. You got it from the 501. What's up, 501?
Hey, John. How are you doing today?
I am awesome, man. I'm hanging out at Dickey Stevens Ballpark. How about you?
Oh, I'm sitting out here looking at a beautiful Arkansas day. Thanks for asking.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I am joining in live, so y'all may have already covered this, and if so, just tell me to, run it back. I'll scour through. I've been told that the Waltons were getting in on the mix. I was just curious if y'all felt like that quote unquote at least $5 million was before some Walton money was thrown in the mix, and if so, do y'all think that we're potentially looking at maybe a slightly ridiculous NIL pool this year? I'll hop off and listen.
Yeah, no, appreciate the phone call, man. Thanks for calling in. We talked a little bit about the NIL, but nobody wants to believe me in this, and it's fine. Like you can believe whatever you want, but I'm telling you that Arkansas's NIL has been fine, and it has been. It's good, and it has been good. And I know that you had, Hunter Yurchek talking about, we need this because any AD or coach worth their salt, they're never going to be like, we're fine in NIL, no more money. Like, that's not ever what they're going to do. So just put it like that. But from my understanding, what has been promised or what has been reported is coming from mainly one particular entity that is Tyson. Doesn't mean that's where it's all coming from. The vast, vast, vast majority of it is coming from that. But I do know that there has been a conscientious effort being made by people involved with NIL and people who are involved in the big businesses here in the state of Arkansas to try and put together some sort of, what you call it, a package, you can call it a whatever. They've been trying to make it work where it makes sense to everybody. And from my understanding, because of this Calipari hire and how incredibly unique it's been and how incredibly awesome it's been over this point in period in time, it's opened people's eyes to be like, okay, so so it's like that now? Well, shoot, okay, well, I'll donate. I'll put some money in. I'll have some fun with it. I want to win. I want to help win. Because I don't want to be the ones that's like, hey, I got Tyson over here donating, or I got the Hunts over here. I don't want to be the ones that's being left out to dry. And so I think that there's just been such an effort to really hammer that whole point in there of just making it to where you as a program are being serious about it. I know that the Arkansas Edge has been a big thing with the NIL collective, and they've done a decent enough job with it and all of that, and that's great, and that's fine, that's grand, that's wonderful. But on top of everything, it's like, you still have to have the perception and I guess you can call it the reputation, but you want it to be where everybody kind of has an understanding for you as a program that, hey, if I want NIL, that's where I want to go. Or if I want NIL, they got what I'll need. And so just the perception of it is there. But I think Arkansas is doing a great job. I think there's going to be plenty for basketball. The football is in need, so we'll see how that plays out. And when I say it's in need, that does not mean that it's just dried up. It means that to get to where you want to be and need to be able to be competitive in the landscape of all things college football, it needs to have some more. I think that's a big part of it. But, overall, I just think that right now in this position of where Arkansas is at, what sport is not doing what it's supposed to be doing? Football, again. Football's king. Football's the biggest deal, and it needs some work. But right now, how are you not feeling good about each and every athletic sport or athletic team at the University of Arkansas in the direction it's going? I just don't know how you don't. I feel incredible about it. And I think that it's I don't know if we'll ever know anything about the actual specifics, but just look at here's what it comes down to. Let's just do this. Forget it. Here's what it comes down to. What type of players are you getting into your athletic department? Look at transfer portal rankings. Look at recruiting rankings. Look at that across all sports. And yes, they have recruiting rankings and everything for all different sports. Just look at all of that. Where is it at? Where is it at compared to all the other schools? Softball, you're getting great players. Baseball, great players. Track and field, great athletes. I think in soccer, you're getting phenomenal athletes. Basketball, we know it's going to be coming around a little bit. Look at that, generally speaking, and you'll be able to get an idea of exactly where your NIL is, because I am sorry, you can say it, you can believe it, you can have faith in it, but folks, if you don't have a great NIL program, you are not going to get great players. Period. Plain and simple. You're just not. But if you are a program and if you are a team that is bringing in high-caliber players, highly touted players, 5 stars, ones that got into the portal and everybody's won, and if you're bringing in those players, they're not looking at it as saying, well, I was going to go to this school over here for $500,000, but I'm going to go to Arkansas for free. That's not how that works. So that's always a good thing about it. And then people will bring up, oh, football has been, their recruiting class isn't good, or women's basketball. Okay, I don't disagree. However, you still have to consider the fact of losing and of being a losing program. Because for whatever intents and purposes and whatever issues that you may have with whatever coaches, that's one thing. But winning still has to matter. And in football, Arkansas hasn't won. I still always refer back to the 2021 season. 2021 season ends. It was like 9-4, one of your best years you've had in a while. What'd you do? What'd you do in the transfer portal? You got some of the best players out there that people were almost shocked by. You got the Drew Sanders. You got a Jaden Hazelwood. You got a Dwight McLaughlin. You got a Matt Landers. You got a Landon Jackson. You got a lot of players that were really high caliber, high end. Now, why were they coming to Arkansas? Was it simply because of NIL? Well, probably was a big part of it, but also because it was a winning program. And so what happened the years after you didn't win? Suddenly those caliber players, especially ones coming out of the portal, weren't as obvious, weren't as they just weren't the same. So when you got to put the 2 and 2 together and you got to draw the line somewhere, maybe just chalk it up to the fact that, yeah, things weren't really that great because we weren't that great as a team. Like, you just got to think about that sometimes. I know people won't, but still, you got to at least try. You got to at least try. Try to think about it. That's all I ask. Folks, I got to tell you about another great sponsor here on the John Nabors Show as well in United States Sports, and that is the Autograph app. It's an app in a company that was co-founded by Tom Brady. And one of the great things that they have going on here, besides just when you download the app, which, by the way, if you haven't downloaded it yet, go ahead and go to the App Store and get it downloaded today, because that is something you need to get on top of. Because it's going to be an app that rewards you for all the content that you're already going to consume. And right now, they're offering a great package, a $24 ticket package to the Florida Baseball Series happening later this month there in Fayetteville at Baum-Walker Stadium. To be eligible, all you fans of the Autograph app, all you have to do is refer a friend. It's as simple as that. You know how it's done. Refer a friend, and to claim that offer, you will need 200 coins to unlock with the app. It's a very simple thing, and I'm telling you right now, if you're wanting tickets to this event, to this game, you're talking about an inordinate amount of money that you're going to have to spend. For instance, the 2 ticket packages that they're going through for sections 114 and 115, that's a $700 plus value per package, okay? And they're offering a $24 ticket package just by referring a friend with the Autograph app. So get on it today using code Natty. Just go to the App Store. You can download it using code Natty. And you can also scan the QR code right there at the bottom. You do that, it'll take you right to the app. You can download it from there. It's as simple as that. So, again, if you have yet to do it now. Download the Autograph app and use code Natty, and you'll be able to have a chance at $24 ticket packages for the Florida Baseball Series later this month with the Autograph app. Again, we're broadcasting live from Dickey Stevens Ballpark here in North Little Rock for the 13th Annual Hat Club Crawfish Salute. Starting to smell some of the crawfish, too. Smelling pretty good, not going to lie. And see, they come prepared, too. They got the parquet butter that's over here, too. I think they got the Creole seasoning that's over there as well. I mean, for crying out loud, you even got the Zapp's potato chips that are going on here, too. Oh, what is this? Okay. Yeah. This Creole seasoning, or I want to say couillon dust, call it that. I be stroking. You know it's good if you're going to name it something like that. That's what you're going to name it. So, but yeah, we appreciate them having us out here and being able to hang out. Got a few more people who are chiming in and calling in. So let's see if we can get to Michael here, who's on the line. What's up, Michael?
Not much. I got a quick question. Everybody's talking about the players coming in. What about the assistant coaches?
Yeah, that's kind of the biggest question right now for them is just, who is he going to bring? Who's Cal going to bring in? I know that there's been some thoughts. There's been some reports. People think that Kenny Payne's going to be one of them, somebody that he's had before. But honestly, that's kind of a question maybe somebody wants to look at as far as, okay, well, how much money are they going to have for the assistants, or how much is it going to cost for some of these assistants? Or does Cal come and bring in the old guard? Does he go for Tony Barbie and Kenny Payne and all those dudes? Or does he maybe start fresh, start something new? Does he keep Ronnie Brewer on staff? I know a lot of people have been clamoring for that, and I would love to see it. And I would love to see Ronnie Brewer on the staff. But I also understand that if Cal is going a different direction, then so be it. But as of right now, there has not been anything confirmed on who the coaching staff's going to be. There's been names thrown around, but I know the staff is going to be a large one with Cal. He always makes sure that he has a very large staff because he wants to have a lot of success and a lot of moving pieces there to help him out with.
Oh yeah, I hope they hire Rory Burger because he's a good coach. So
I agree. Would love to see it.
All right. Well, thank you.
I appreciate it, Michael. Thanks for calling in, man. Yeah. Again, I love Ronnie Brewer. I hope they keep him. I hope they keep him on staff. But again, I want him to be able to make the decision there. That's what's important. Let's go to Nathan Allen. I think it's Nathan from Fayetteville. What's up, Nathan?
Not much. How you doing, John?
I'm doing awesome, man. How about yourself?
Doing well. Long-time listener, first-time caller. I've been a Razorback fan since I was at the school in 2004 to 2008, so got to see the Hogs go to the SEC championship. So been a long-time suffering fan. And
I feel you.
When it comes to recruiting, I'm with you. I think that our NIL is probably fairly decent. But, yeah, you're right. You have to win in order for people to want to come here. My question is, when you look at some of the best athletes around, Tom Brady, Mike Tyson, a lot of them had psychological coaching, like when it's like teaching them that, or getting it in their heads that they're the best. Does Arkansas have any kind of program that psychologically gets in the student athletes' heads to be like, all right, you're the best, you're going to do this, whatnot, let's get you hyped up? Because I used to talk to Florida Gator players back when they were winning, national championships, and they said that their coach did a lot of mind games, stuff like that. So I wonder if Arkansas can get some sort of edge in that aspect.
That's an interesting question, Nathan. I don't know if they have any set coach for that. I don't know if that's something Cal's going to bring in, but I do know that they have had coaches, if you want to call them coaches, if you want to call them helpers, like however you want to do it. Like they've had people in the past that have been there for their mental health, and trying to, whether it's for part of the stresses that come with being a student athlete, or maybe it's something to kind of hype them into that too. I'm not totally sure, but who knows? Sometimes maybe it's just one of the assistant coaches that help with that. Maybe that's part of their charm, part of the way that they do things. But either way, I think that there's a possibility that that's the case. I think it's a possibility that they actually have someone like that on staff. But as far as anything for certain on that, I honestly don't know. But I know what you're talking about, though, and I know it's been a commonality for how people have tried to, get those guys into the right mindset and everything. And there may be a benefit to it. Who knows? But yeah, I would if I found out that Calipari had hired one of those types of people, I'd be all for it. I'd be, hey, whatever it takes to convince you and whatever it takes to get you in the right mindset, because that's an important thing as a student athlete.
100%. And it would go across basketball, football too. And if it's something that they don't have, it might be something worth looking into. Because again, if you look at the greats, Tom Brady, he had a psychologist who really got in his head. Mike Tyson, he had hypnosis and stuff like that to just kind of get him into the mindset of I'm the best in the world. And with these young students, like a lot of it is mental, right? So just something worth, asking the coaches, be like, hey, if you don't have this, let's get it. And, that might help Arkansas stop sucking in football.
Listen, just be honest, I think it's going to take a lot more than that to keep him from sucking in football. But, yeah, that's something that I think is pretty cool
we need
over
that
there.
a little bit.
Yeah. No, I think it's any little bit can help. I'm always for that.
Yeah, 100%. All right. Thanks, John.
Hey, appreciate it. Thanks for calling in, Nathan. Good to hear from you, man. So, again, we'll get to your comments and everything here in just a little bit. But we know that each and every day, we, of course, have to have your Arkansas update presented by Davis & Garrett Insurance Group, your auto owner's insurance group, securing what matters the most. And for your Arkansas update today, we know that John Calipari was officially announced as the Razorback head men's basketball coach yesterday in what was an electric event and an electric vibe that truly had been going on for quite some time, to be honest. It was almost overwhelming of how much was going on with that. But people are excited. I don't think there's any ifs, ands, buts about it. People are excited about it. They're excited about the possibilities of what could be and what is going to be. But overall, I can't wait to see what's next for him. And I could bring up the updates of like the chicken emojis for like Carter Knox and all that. But I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to wait until there's something actually there. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to wait till something's actually there that we can discuss and that we can talk about, because as of right now, it's going to be it. But I'll tell you this, though, folks. I'll tell you this. Like any type of commitment that ever happens at Arkansas, we're going to be on top of it at Natty State Sports, but be sure to follow the Pod at the Palace, as they're going to have your thoughts and opinions on everything, too. And also going to be on top of it when it comes to commitments and transfer portals and everything, too. So be on the lookout for that. Razorback Baseball is on the road as they took care of business yesterday, got a big dub. 23 in a row at home for them. 23 in a row at home. So they have been destroying opponents. Again, it's like I'm not even trying to overlook any of the other stuff that they have going on. I'm not trying to overstate anything that they got going on. Just they're doing great, and I love it. And hopefully it continues on. Hopefully it ends up going really well. And I mean that's just how I feel about it. So I don't want to jinx it. Is essentially what I'm saying. Either way, that is your Arkansas update, brought to you by Davis & Garrett Insurance, your auto owner's insurance agency, securing what matters the most. All right, so let's see. I believe we have a few more people that have been calling in. I think this is Quentin. See if we can get to them. What's up, Quentin?
Hey, John, I had to call back real quick. I just had a two-parter, and, feel free to answer them whenever. I know we're on a bit of a, baseball tick right now. It's been bouncing around, but whatever. Or basketball, rather. My question on the football side of things was, let's just make it more simple. If you could only add one impactful player to just a couple positions, 2 or 3, kind of what are you looking for at this moment, and how do you think it affects our season coming up? If it was to add a solid player in the linebacker room, the defensive line, and the offensive line or something. And on the second part, as far as the basketball side of things, do we really think Calipari was avoiding in any kind of way the transfer portal, or do we feel like it's a little more likely that there were certain obstacles, whether it was with donors or the athletic department? Because I've heard so many I've gotten such a mixed bag of answers in that department. It's almost kind of feeling like maybe there were some of the money was talking and they didn't actually want the transfers. Like it's kind of almost feeling like Kentucky fans might be really mad in the next couple of years. But I'll hop off and listen.
All right, man. Well, appreciate the phone call and everything. Trying to answer your two-parter here. Let's see. So I would say to your first question about the football side of things, you need a linebacker, man. You need a big-time player at linebacker. Your linebackers are not where it needs to be. The depth is not there. You need an impact player out of that. I don't know if you're going to get one. I don't know if he's already there. I don't know how good Xavier Sori is going to be. Like you feel like there's options, but you're just not to the point to where you need to be as a linebacker group. That would be the first thing. I think other position groups, you're either fine or you could be a little bit better, but the linebacker position, without question, is the most important one that you got to get figured out. So that's the first one. But as far as your second question and dealing with NIL and where Calipari's at, I'm trying to understand it, so if I don't answer correctly, just let me know. But I kind of look at it as, hey, overall, you need to be a program that has great NIL. And I think at Kentucky, he probably had really great NIL. But there's a difference of when you not only get the NIL, but you also get to have some sort of extra case of it, too, to be able to feel really good about it. If you have the money to go along with it, the NIL to go along with it, and everything else to go along with it, I think you're pretty good to go. So hopefully that answered your question. So. All right, so we're about to wrap up here on the John Nabors Show here in just a little bit. Let's get to, I think we got Caden on the line before we do wrap up. What's going on, Caden?
Hey, John, just a quick question. I know you're trying to wrap things up. I was wondering when you'll see the shift in college sports where you'll see players starting to make more through NIL than the actual coaches there, where we pay coach $2 million and a player makes $3 million. I was just wondering if you see any examples of that right now, or when you think that happens. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, Caden. I don't think it's happened just yet, because usually the players that are getting the biggest and brightest and baddest deals of all time, I think that those guys are I don't think those are the guys that you're looking at. I don't think those are not going to be the programs. Those are the programs that are paying those coaches millions upon millions upon millions of dollars anyways. So you're probably not going to be looking at those guys. It's going to be a while. I think it's still got a few years off, but I mean, the way things are going in the NIL, who knows? Maybe there may be a player out there that signs a $5 million deal and the coach is only making $4 million. So it absolutely could happen that way too. But appreciate your phone calls, appreciate your questions. Folks, it's been a lot of fun. We really appreciate the Hat Club having us out here for the Crawfish Salute right here at Dickey Stevens Ballpark, benefiting UAMS. Really appreciate them and being a part of it. Appreciate you being a part of the show. And we're going to keep it moving tomorrow. We'll be back at the United States Sports Studios. We'll have Tyler Spoon on, so really looking forward to that. Talk about baseball, and who knows, maybe we'll have some great commitments to talk about tomorrow, the way things are going. So, but either way, appreciate everybody listening in and watching in. I'm your host, John Nabors. Same sports show, same sports channel tomorrow afternoon. Have a great rest of your day, everybody, and we will see you then tomorrow.